What's going on, guys? Telz86 here with Wii-kly Review, and today I'm going to be talking about the Wii U Pro Controller. Now, this is going to be my review of the Pro Controller and what my likes and dislikes are of the controller. So, as I'm holding the controller right now in my hand, I'm not going to be doing any kind of actual recording of this. I'm just going to be telling y'all straight out from what I can tell you from by holding it into my hand instead of having like how I usually do in camera. I've decided to do it in this format, so hope anybody's not going to bash on me too much for it. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the controller comparing to two other controllers, including the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So let's first start off with the Xbox 360 controller in a comparison between this. Now, of course, it does have the exact same style as the Xbox 360 controller, except there are a few other differences. One of them being is the Pro Controller is a little bit slimmer around the middle portions of it. Unlike an Xbox 360 controller, an Xbox 360 controller is a little bit more bulkier, and of course it has the battery compartment in the back. Unlike the Wii U Pro Controller, it just uses a simple USB connector to be able to charge. That's one of the things that I actually do not like very much about the Xbox 360 controller, is having to use replacement batteries for these. I kind of wish that they would have done just a simple USB charge like how the PlayStation 3 does. So that's actually one of the things I do like about with the Wii U Pro Controller. One of the things that I do not like about with the Pro Controller, though, is the triggers on the back. They do feel a little bit more they are smaller, of course, so if you're a person that has bigger hands and everything, and if you're one that really likes to push down on a button, like say on like a trigger, like say the triggers, you can actually hear a difference between when I'm actually pushing down the triggers on a 360 controller, but when you do it on a Wii U Pro Controller, like you can barely hear it. Like it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing, because if you're a person that likes to hold down a trigger, like say if you're playing a racing game or if you're playing a first-person shooter, you'll want to feel that you're actually pushing it down, because you'll see that the actual button is going down. Unlike this one, it doesn't really feel like it. Like you don't actually see it going down as much as you would on a 360 controller. But then again, completely different design and everything else, so blah blah blah. But another thing I will actually say, this is actually the advantages of having a Wii U Pro Controller. One of them being is the L and R top switch buttons are a lot smoother and a lot more comfortable than the ones on a Xbox 360 controller. Reason being is because I believe they used a little bit more of a I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. They used a little bit more of a grip, I would say, so it has a little bit more of a grip, and that's one thing I do like about it. Now, one thing that I absolutely detest, though, about the Wii U Pro Controller is that it has two different types of ways that it was designed. One side was glossy and the other side is kind of a rough finish. That's one of the things that I really do not like about with the Wii U Pro Controller, because if you're one that's going to be playing a lot on this, and if you have, like, say, the black Pro Controller, you're going to be seeing fingerprints all over on this sucker. Now, of course, I have the white one, as you guys are seeing in this picture right here, that I'm actually using as my display picture for the whole entire video. But I believe that this controller, otherwise except for a few of those things, is a lot better than other previous controllers that I've ever played on Nintendo-based consoles. Now, one of the other advantages that this controller has over both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 is, of course, being able to plug it straight into a USB and have it so it's still able to use as a controller even though it's plugged in and charging. This will get you an 80-hour battery life. That's double about the amount for an Xbox 360 controller, and about, I believe, 5 times more than a PlayStation 3 controller is. Now, the rumble feature, I will say, is not as it's not like a normal rumble feature like you would expect from like a GameCube controller or like the rumble packs when you used to have on the N64 and stuff like those. But it's still got a rumble pack in it, but it's not very forceful like how an Xbox 360 controller has the rumble features. The same thing for a PlayStation 3. It has the rumble features, like when it's moving around. It does not have as powerful of a rumble feature, and a couple of the games that were released for this controller as a third option did not use the rumble feature, which some people did not like. They were like, oh hey, like I want to have the rumble feature, I want to feel like I'm playing the game and everything. Now there are a few other things that I do not like about with this controller. Number one is why Nintendo did not have it so that it could be a third option for all games. I'm talking about not only just ones that are on retail for the Wii U eShop. I'm talking about for actual retail, as in store-wise bought games. The only games that were actually released that actually used this controller were of the following games. They were Trine 2, which is supposed to be getting an update for it, Nano Assault Neo, which only can be used when you're playing multiplayer, the same for Zombie U, and I believe, if I can remember correctly, I think Little Inferno also has to have it for like a two-player thing. I mean, I haven't played Little Inferno yet, so if I'm wrong about that, please feel free to correct me. But that's one thing I do not like that Nintendo decided to do when they made this, was they should have added it so that every game that comes out for the Wii U should have it as a third option, instead of just using the Nintendo Wii U gamepad and the Wii U, the Wii Remote and nunchucks. I think they should have implemented it so that the controller would also be used, because we have a lot of, Nintendo needs to have a lot of hardcore based fans out there to be able to know that, hey, we want you guys to go ahead and buy our system, we want you to buy our games. It's not just going to be only for casual based markets. So again though, there are some good things about this controller, and then there are some bad things. I actually like the sticks on this actually a lot better than the 360 controller. They do not slip as much. They don't have a weird feeling like on the inside of them, like they don't have any kind of pressions or anything. The sticks are clickable, as you guys can hear. The D-pad is a traditional D-pad, 10 times better than the D-pad that was used on the Classic Controller Pro. The Classic Controller Pro one was just, it was pretty awful. And the buttons for both, like I said, the LR and the ZL/ZR buttons are also very good. All the buttons are very nicely tightened. They're they're highly raised, and it makes it so that they don't cause a whole bunch of noise when you're playing your game. Like, it's not going to sound like you're starting an earthquake or anything when you're playing your games. So, but they're very comfortable. The controller is very comfortable. I would not go out and spend more than $30 though for the controller. If you are desperate though, and if you do need a controller, and if you have the games that are compatible with this controller, I do recommend it. And guys, I'm going to be giving this controller an 8 out of 10 because it is a very good piece of equipment that Nintendo has decided to come out with for the modern gamers and for the modern market. And I really do hope that we have some more games coming out for this controller to be able to be usable, because this would be a really good controller to have for anybody that likes Call of Duty based games, or anything first person shooter, anything for RPGs or platforming games would be great with this. Hopefully we'll also, when we start getting more games on the Wii U eShop, we'll hopefully start getting even more games that we'll be able to just use the pad as a patch up. And again, hopefully we'll also get that patch up soon for the voice chat and for the Pro Controller use for Trine 2. So guys, again, I'm going to be giving this controller a 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching. This has been Tails86 with Weekly Review. Take care.